I'm Sharman, a holistic wellness coach, and trying to make your life better, healthier with the experiences of what I had in my life. Today's session is a very important. The session is basically on the role of immunity, especially in the current scenario. What is the role? And then I will provide you the solutions also for that. What could be the best solution in current scenario? See, if you look at the health, I think two aspects are very important. One is immunity. Second is good nutrition. Immunity to fight with all the threats what we may have from the environment, water, and food, whatever it is. And good nutrition to run our own machine, our body. Both are interdependent as good immunity helps in the better absorption of the nutrients within the body. Yes, immunity not only fights against the bacteria and viruses and threats which may be harmful to your body, but it is also important that whatever as a diet you are going to take, whether it is absorbed completely, betterly or not. So good nutrition helps to build good immunity. As I told you, that both are interdependent. Immunity, good nutrition, good immunity, both are interdependent. Rather, they are complementary. National Center for Biotechnology Information says that inappropriate nutrient consumption is associated with development of major human diseases due to an immune system not properly functioning. So this report clearly says that nutrition and immunity both are interdependent. Now the question arises, does the immune system help absorb nutrients? Oh yes. The immune system is a complex network of organs, cells and proteins that defends the body against infection whilst protecting the body's own cells. Gut immune system cells are responsible for absorbing our dietary nutrients, but it also plays a role in warding off toxic chemicals and life-threatening bacteria. In deep on immunity, my concern is to make you aware for your good health and threats we are exposed to. So first of all, our aim is to get good immunity. This we can learn from the example of a car. Very interesting example. Please listen to it carefully. The car works well when there are sufficient quantities of two things. One is coolant, second is petrol. If you want to go miles without any problem, you need to keep these two things up to the mark. What is that? Coolant and petrol. Here the coolant is like an immune modulator, which keeps the engine to work efficiently by maintaining the right temperature within the engine and also avoids any breakage. So two things here comes up. One is right temperature within the car, and second is breakage, because machineries keep on moving. No? So there could be some wear and tear inside. So coolant is a very important part which keeps the car within the right temperature and also avoids any kind of breakage. So as you know that rise, similarly, the same happens with our body also. Body temperature, when there is a rise, it is a signal that you are hit by an infection or something wrong is going on within your body, as happens in the car when coolant is not working properly. Body cannot speak itself. So what it does, it raises the temperature. You suddenly feel that you are having the fever. In many of the infections and other things, it happens. So it is a signal of the body. Yes, there is something wrong going on within the body. You must notice it. So petrol and diesel, they are like nutrition. So good immune supplement is a very important to keep your body under control, to let it function properly. Whereas petrol and diesel is like a nutrition which is required to run the car. One is to keep the car in good position, and second is to run the car. As car requires both of these, similarly, to get health and long life, we must have the mix of good nutrition and good immunity. You cannot discount, you cannot these things. Your body undergoes thousands of metabolic processes to keep us alive, and as a result, there is a continuous wear and tear in the body. The residue is further excreted by the body since these may be harmful. The immune system has a vital role. It protects your body from harmful substances. One, germs and cell changes that could make you ill. Second, it is made up of various organs, cells, and proteins, and also keeps your internal system cool as like coolant in the car. So in this session, we will discuss on immunity part, but in short, as immunity is a vast subject. Immunity is not a simple subject, it's a vast subject. There are three types of immunities. Mainly there are two. One is innate, that is what you get since your birth. Second is acquired, and third is passive. So these are the three kind of. I'll not go in detail of all these things. Just understand the importance of the immunity and what immunity does to your body and how you can have better immunity, what you should do for that. You have seen 20, 30 years back that some diseases were not common as are prevalent nowadays, which is the result of poor immunity and poor nutrition. Nowadays, diseases are more lifestyle disorders than spreading from one to another as TB used to be in the past. Look at the current scenario. The diseases which were spreading from one to another were called as a communicable disease. And the diseases which are now more prevalent, they are called as a non-communicable disease. More than 41 million people die of the NCD, that is non-communicable disease. How many? 41 million nowadays. This I don't say, this is the World Health Organization report says that from NCD and others, total deaths globally is around about 57.7, out of which 71% are from NCD. That comes to 41 million. Okay. When we talk of the India, in 2005, this data was 53%. Now it has gone up to 65% in 2020. So in 15 years, you can see that deaths due to NCD, non-communicable disease, means lifestyle disorders, the ratio has gone to 65%, too huge. And this is a time, it's an alarming signal. We must take care and we must think of this raging trend of non-communicable disease death. Now, the question arises, why this happens? This happens, there are few risk factors for this. One is unhealthy diet. You must have seen that people have started using, taking the diet which is not healthy, oftenly called as a junk food, right? So consumption of junk food has gone up. So unhealthy diet, not enough exercises. People have become more sedentary. They are not exercising. They are not straining themselves. So sedentary lifestyle is another risk factor. Unhealthy weight. And because of these two, unhealthy diet and sedentary lifestyle, that is also contributing to the weight gain. So more weight, more you are going to be unhealthy. People have, consumption of smoking, consumption of alcohol, consumption of hormone replacement therapies like birth control pills, hormone replacement therapy. It has gone up. So these are also one of the very important risk factor for non-communicable disease. And another, last but not the least, stress is a very, very important factor. Because stress is just like see, when you run a car, what happens? You run the car on the first gear, you put the accelerator high, what will happen? The engine will start getting hot. Why this happens? Because there is more stress, more strain. More engine oil is burning, more petrol is burning. So what is it is giving? It is giving the rise in the temperature within the car. Similarly, it happens with your body. When you take a lot of stress, which is very common nowadays in lifestyle, what happens? Your body starts getting temperature, heat, and that temperature leads to the process of inflammation. I'll tell you later, but these are the major risk factors for getting the non-communicable disease. But the point of happiness, you can say, is there. There is a report that at least 80% of the heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes can be prevented if you start taking the right corrective measures at the right time. But the point of happiness, 40% of cancer can be prevented if you adopt the good lifestyle, good exercise, good supplements, definitely these two things can be prevented. I don't say curable, prevented. 40%, as far as the report is concerned, it says that 95% of the world population has health problems, with over a third having more than 5 ailments. And now I come to the immune system. That what are those main factors which weaken the immune system? First, I told you stress, urgency, lack of sleep, and unhealthy diet, as I have told you earlier also. Now, this is an order of the first number is stress, second is urgency. Anything which you want to do in urgent, every time you are in the urgency mode, that is also not good. Lack of sleep, you are not taking the proper sleep. An unhealthy diet. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. All these lifestyle factors which can cause a weakened immunity. Other factors which affect the immune system, that is age. When you grow up, you age up. Yes, of course, your immune system goes down. Your sex, some of the immunities are sex based, like females are more prone to that, not males, but there are some cases some males are more prone to be affected from certain disorders. So sex based, infection history, and genetics. I mean, what genes you carry from your parent, and paternal as well as maternal. So all these all these factors also can affect our immune system and make us more prone to disease. Currently, studies have shown that genetic predisposition accounts for approximately 30% of all autoimmune diseases. Means out of all autoimmune diseases, 30% are accountable for the genetics reasons. And the rest 70%, they are due to the environmental factors, toxic chemicals, dietary components, gut dysbiosis. This is a very, very important. As in the starting, I told you, gut is a very important part of the immune system, and infections. All these things for the 70% are responsible for autoimmune disorders. Autoimmune disorders like psoriasis, like diabetes, like atherosclerosis, like asthma, all these diseases. Autoimmune disease, when your immunity starts taking action against your own cells, that is called autoimmune disease. Now, what happens when immunity is triggered? What happens? This is a very, very important. See, immunity, when immunity is activated, it gives the rise to the inflammation. Inflammation is not basically, in simple words, it is not the inflammation what we call usually. Inflammation, basically in scientific language, it is a 5 cardinal signs, that is redness, heat, pain, loss of, you can say, senses. These are the 5 cardinal signs of the inflammation. So inflammation is important. Immunity is activated. So immunity responds in your body by creating inflammation. And inflammation is an important normal step in the body's innate immune response. When pathogens attack healthy cells and tissues, a type of immune cells called mast cells counterattack and release proteins called histamines, which cause inflammation. So this is all in inflammation. When the inflammation continues for a longer time, prolonged, means, for an example, anything which we take through the air, water, diet, if anything toxic goes inside, the immunity activated. And if we keep on staying in those conditions, inflammation will continue, right? So when you don't make any efforts to change these conditions and the inflammation is prolonged, it can lead to the tissue damage and it can affect the immune system badly. Now, what diseases are caused by chronic inflammation? So there is a chronic inflammation, acute inflammation, means we are exposed to the environment, which is not good for the health, for the body. Inflammation occurs, but subsides when we come out of that environment. But when the inflammation continues for a longer time, it is a chronic inflammation. So research has shown that chronic inflammation is associated with heart disease, diabetes, cancer, arthritis, bowel diseases like Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis, even psoriasis as well as asthma. All these are the result of the chronic inflammation. So if you want to be healthy, you need to keep your immunity good. You need to have a good nutrition. Today we'll talk only on the good immunity. So for a good health, good immunity and good nutrition, both are important. Now what could be the solution? Solution is one, that is the Hemohim. Hemohim has the power to wake up your exhausted immunocytes. It is patented in Korea, patented abroad. So there are about 7 patents of this product. 4 patents, they are in Korea, 3 patents are abroad. It is a government funded project which took about 8 years for research and development efforts. Don't take it as a simple product. It is a very, very important product for all of us. And it is developed by the KARI, that is Korean Atomic Energy Research Institute. You can Google it out. KARI is one of the most prestigious research institute in the world. Like NASA, like ISRO, like BARC, like European Space Agency, like whatever you call it. So similarly, KARI is one of the most prestigious institute in the world for Atomic Research Institute. But there is one branch which research on the health and other aspect. So this is a product which took about 8 years to develop. So what it does, Hemohim improves the immune function, the way how your immunity respond to any threats and to any trigger. So it improves that. Come back to my starting narration, that there are 2 things which are required in a car, that is coolant as well as petrol. So it is a kind of coolant. It keeps your body within temperature limits. It doesn't allow the body to heat up. Heat up means inflammation, right? So, and name is a hemo for hemoglobin. So it works on that. And HIM, Hemohim, if you break it up, hemo, it stands for hemoglobin, H for hematopoiesis or hemopoiesis, I for immune system, M for modulation. This is a very important. See, in old books it is, and our ancestors as well as our elders, they always say, keep control, keep control. Whenever you are getting angry, keep control. What is that? By keeping control, when there is a state of the anger, you can protect your body from any burnout. But if you're not keeping control, definitely the body may get any kind of negative effect. So modulation is very important. What is modulation? Listen to it. In India, in Ayurveda, there are so many products, so many herbs which are there, which are documented even to improve your immunity. But the most important thing is that is the modulation. When you need your immunity activated, it should be activated. When there is a need to be suppressed down, it should be suppressed down. So this is modulation. Whatever requirement is, the body is acting accordingly. That is a modulation, and it comes from the Hemohim. So Hemohim is a new substance with a special immune function that has been developed from Angelica radix. It's one of the herb. Another is Synetium officinale and Paeonia japonicum. Through biological engineering means there could be thousands of ingredients within a single herb. There could be many alkalides, many components, but what component does what action and how this action can be improved. So what improvement in that component should be brought in? This all is called is a biological engineering. So it is not a simple extract of these herbs. It is a biologically engineered extract of those herbs. This is why this product took about 8 years to develop. So it is developed by the R&D and Technology Exchange from the Food Biotechnology team at Korea Atomic Energy Research Institute. developed Atomy Hemohim, a new substance that may help improve immune function. Gentlemen, this is number one sales on individual product across the Korean network marketing industry for the past 5 consecutive years, that is 2015 to 2019. Hemohim is patented in the USA, one of the most strict country where I think all these things are not a cakewalk. But Hemohim is patented there also in USA and Europe. Europe means UK, France, Germany, and Italy. How prestigious the product is. It is also human tested to verify its safety and functionality, and individually approved by MFDS. Hemohim favorably regulate or improve immunocytes. These are the basic cells of your immunity system. Accelerate functions and find and remove harmful foreign substances or abnormally deformed cells and enhance immune system. See, there is a regular wear and tear within our body. So every cell has its own shelf life, cell life. Cell life means, for an example, RBC lives for about 120 days. Okay. So cell life of RBC is 120 days. After that, cell dies, new cells comes in. So there are 3 key points of hemoglobin. Let us understand this. This is very important. First, it activates NK cells. As I told you, that immune system comprises of basically 2. One is innate since birth, second acquired. That is when there is a specific virus, bacteria attacks your body, then your body makes the special soldiers like military, policeman, RAF like that, and fights with that particular virus. This happened with the case of Corona. When there was a Corona pandemic, the coronavirus, it took the body to create the soldier against coronavirus for 14 days. So first key points, it activates NK cells, natural killer cells created in bone marrow are activated to directly destroy harmful cells in the body. Second, it works by activating immune cells, which are activated to improve the defense mechanism of the human body as day-to-day defense mechanism. And third is creates cytokine. Cytokine is a kind of protein which is released by the cells of the immune system to help regulate immune response. It is just like a mobile system. Through the mobile, we communicate with each other. Similarly, cytokines are very, very important. When there is a low level of cytokines, the immune cells cannot communicate with the body. So they are not aware whether body requires us or not. It is a cytokine. Similarly, it is an insulin, which works in the case of diabetes. When there is a less insulin within your body, there is a more sugar available within your body, which is called as a diabetes. Similarly, cytokine is important. When there is an excess of cytokine, that is also very harmful. Same happened in the case of Corona. You must have heard the name cytokine storm. There was a huge cytokine, and because of that also, many negative effects happened with the body. So cytokine, it creates and regulates the function of the cytokine, as well as NK cells and normal immunocytes. There has been a lot of research paper on Hemohim. One says that preventive effect of herbal preparation Hemohim on development of airway inflammation. Second says protective effect of the sterilize extract using indomethacin and ethanol hydrochloride induced gastric mucosal injury models. So there are so many research papers you can Google out over the net, and you can find that many of the research paper. So it is a well-documented product. There is another research paper that is restoration of the immune functions in acid mice by supplementation with a new herbal composition Hemohim. The results indicate that Hemohim may have potential as a glucose lowering and immunomodulatory agent by enhancing the immune function of the pancreatic beta cells in streptozocin-induced diabetic mice. So even in the cases of diabetes, there has been some research on the mice where it has helped in reducing the glucose. That is also there. It is very good for the people who require more stamina, like athletes. It is very good for the people lacking energy from work-related stress, like office workers and farmers, where there's a more energy is required. Because one of the function is hematopoiesis. There is a improvement in the RBCs. When there is a more RBCs within the body, more oxygen carrying capacity of the body will be there, and the more glucose oxygen will be reached to the cellular level incidences that Hemohim has improved the hemoglobin also. So people, when they age, when they grow up, the hemoglobin level also goes down. So there also Hemohim is very, very good. Many of the incidents have been there where Hemohim has improved the hemoglobin level within the body. So it is very good for athletes engaging in strenuous activity, student preparing for tests requiring physical strength, people who are suffering in many form of illnesses. Earlier, this used to be very costly, but thanks to the Atomy that it has gone down, the price of current Hemohim is just half of what it was 10 years back. Since now, November 2018, the price of Hemohim has been lower to benefit our consumers and the business of our Atomy members. So this is the philosophy of the Atomy, to provide absolute quality, absolute price. Have you seen any company lowering its price after 10 years? No. Atomy is the first company. The price of the products are continuously going down so that we can afford to have Hemohim. About Hemohim and immunity, and this is a wonderful and most important product for our health. About Hemohim and immunity, not used yet, please start consuming Hemohim for better health. At least 6 months, once in a 6 months. That is good. So thank you very much. Not used yet, please start consuming Hemohim for better health. And I hope you like this session. If you like, please subscribe and share maximum to all your group and friends. Thank you.